A new partnership has been announced to help eliminate violence against women. The Commonwealth has teamed up with No More Foundation to help end domestic violence in the 53 member countries. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 3 women worldwide has been a victim of sexual or physical violence in their lifetime. 1 in 3. Joining us now is the Commonwealth Secretary-General, Baroness Patricia Scotland. Hello to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. How big is this problem? I was just saying in the intro there, 1 in 3 women worldwide seem to fall victim to either physical or sexual abuse.
This is the biggest issue which is causing suffering and injury and death to women across the world. And one of the things which is so pernicious is it doesn't matter where you are geographically, doesn't matter what profession you have or don't have, disability, religion, all these other factors which normally would make a difference. This is something which affects women globally.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's about power, it's about control, it's about making sure that women don't necessarily have the opportunity that they have. Some of it's historical, and we have to change that. It's been part of our history. It's been part of every country's history, but it absolutely cannot be part of our future.
So how do we start to change it?
Well, we start to change it by mapping what causes it, mapping the cost. And one of the things we're going to do is to look at the economic cost of domestic violence. Many countries say, look, I'd love to do something about this, but I don't know what it is, and I don't know how much I've got money to spend it. So what we are doing is to say, let's look at how much is being spent by not doing something about it. And so we've created a Commonwealth evaluation toolkit to help countries to look at how much is absolutely happening now. We're looking at data. Lots of countries don't have that data. And we're looking at what we know, what works, what doesn't work. How can we share that information? Because we know a number of us have actually found things that do work. And because it is the same everywhere, then the learning that we have, we can really share to make a difference, and that's what we're doing.
Women having their own money seems to make a difference as well, doesn't it? I remember speaking to Melinda Gates about it and saying if money actually went into women's own bank accounts, it gave them the ability to be able to walk away.
A bit of autonomy. But the thing that's quite damaging is that if women don't have actual control of that money, if someone else is controlling it, then that is very difficult for them. So empowering women to get good jobs, to be able to leave and to look after their children. We found that many people stay because of the sense of shame, because they think it's going to be better for their kids, because they hope it will stop, and it doesn't.
We're talking about, you know, when people think about women being abused, they think about sub-Saharan Africa, parts of Asia and the like. But I want to, if I may, ask you about this. It's complex and it's but we need to talk about it. A young American girl claimed that she was trafficked to the UK and she found herself in an upmarket Mayfair nightclub, then forced to have sex with Prince Ansari. That's her allegation. How much should given what you've been saying, should the Metropolitan Police be investigating things like that?
Well, the first thing I need to say is that as Secretary-General of the Commonwealth, we're looking at this global issue. It's quite inappropriate to comment on any case individually at this stage, and so I can't comment on that. But what I can comment on is the nature of domestic violence and violence against women generally. And this isn't something which is just one country, it's affecting every single country in the world. And that's why, with No More, we are making an opportunity to change that by sharing good information, helping people to better understand what they're seeing and helping them to understand how to intervene, enabling governments to make that difference. And we know that we can make a difference. When I was in government here in the United Kingdom, it used to be 1 in 4 women. We managed to reduce it to 1 in 6 women and 1 in 10 men. We brought in a new approach which reduced domestic violence by 64% and saved us 7.1 billion.
But what about sexual abuse of young women? As the point I'm making is that it potentially happens right around the globe. Who can they turn to?
Well, this is why we are creating a network, bottom up and top down, to make sure that we have the systems in place, the service in place. We are educating all the services, because what we know is this is going to take all of us. It's not just government, it's not just local government, it's not just business, it's not just third sector, it is all of us. We all have friends. 2 women, we're sitting as 2 women on this platform. If there was a 3rd woman, it would be 1 in 3 of us. So we need to understand that it could be our friends, our neighbours, our work colleagues.
But do we turn to each other as women, or do we turn to authority?
We've got to do both, because the good thing is women, when they speak one-to-one, are more likely to talk. But the thing I found, which is so frightening, is that sometimes shame makes people silent, and they don't even tell their closest girlfriends because somehow they think it's their fault.
To that end, did the Me Too campaign help?
Well, I think everything helps that raises the agenda. And if you've got to think about it, if you are a father of a child who happens to be a girl and another Neanderthal comes and damages your child, the anger that that father feels, the helplessness that a brother will feel or a work colleague, we'll all have people who work with us who really love us, who care about us. If they see all of a sudden we start to diminish, we start to get scared, we're not being ourselves, these are things that we need to say to other friends. Watch out. If you start to see those signs, know what it might be. I once, because I've been working on this basically since I was 21. I was a barrister. This is the sort of work that we did. And I remember saying to one of the survivors, what would have made it better for you? What could we have done to make it better? And she said, you know what? If one person, when they asked me, how are you, actually hung around and listened and waited for the answer, and just saying that, no, really, how are you? And waiting can literally save someone's life. So we know what we have to do, how we have to do it, and we can share that. I've been working on this for more than 40 years. I want it to be part of our history, not part of our future. We can do this, but we can't do it on our own. Okay. We've got to do it together, and it'll take all of us.
I know there's a peg for today, but come back and talk to us in more detail whenever you would like to. We would love to know more about the project that you're working on.
And bless you for putting this on your agenda. It really matters.
Thank you. Thanks very much indeed.